astonishing. The truth I shall share, without sentiment. After the advent of fire, the ancient lords found the three souls, but your progenitor found a fourth, unique soul, the Dark Soul. Your ancestor claimed the Dark Soul and waited for fire to subside, and soon the flames did fade, and only dark remained. Thus began the Age of Men, the Age of Dark. However, Lord Gwyn trembled at the dark, clinging to his Age of Fire and in dire fear of humans, and the Dark Lord who would one day be born amongst them. Lord Gwyn resisted the course of nature by sacrificing himself to link the fire and commanding his children to shepherd the humans. Gwyn has blurred your past to prevent the birth of the Dark Lord. I am the primordial serpent. I seek to right the wrongs of the past, to discover our true Lord. But the other serpent, Frampt, lost his sense and befriended Lord Gwyn. Undead warrior, we stand at a crossroads. Only I know the truth about your fate. You must destroy the fading Lord Gwyn, who has coddled fire and resisted nature, and become the fourth Lord, so that you may usher in an age of dark. Very well. I shall now guide you to Gwyn's prison. Be still, and trust thine flesh to me. This is Gwyn's prison. Now, place the Lord vessel upon the altar. Very well. Once the vessel is filled with souls, the gate to Gwyn shall open. Seek Gravelord Nito, the Witch of Izalith, and the traitor, Seath the Scaleless. Fill this vessel with their souls, then the gate will open, so that you may kill Gwyn. Are you ready? Then let us return to the Abyss. Entrust thine flesh to me. You sorry fool. You could not be the chosen one. Enough. I shall slumber until I am awakened again. What is it? I am your guardian. Go on. They failed me. They were strong, but saw not the truth. I am certain. They failed. I am. Very well. Peace. Magnificent. You have followed my teachings faithfully. You are the true Lord of Men, the Dark Lord. Now go forth and rid us of that enfeebled Gwyn. I, Kaathe, shall await you here.
Hello everybody, my name is Michael, and this is unbelievably the last episode of this playthrough of Dark Souls 1. That opening segment there was just a little bonus thing that I made of Darkstalker Kaathe, if you take the other route and talk to Kaathe rather than Frant. And he gives you some interesting clues as to his interpretation of what's going on, because much of this game's story is occluded in a way, and we are not really capable of understanding it fully because we just don't have all the facts. We can kind of piece together things, but there seems to be some big stuff that we're not getting. And Kaathe gives us a different perspective of what's going on, and he deliberately says that Gwyn is somehow in a prison, and he is there to... I mean, I don't know exactly what that means. Was he put in prison? Did he put himself in prison? Why is it described as a prison? That doesn't seem quite right. But anyway, I had some recording and saving issues, unfortunately, and my character that I was using before was wiped. So I am using a different character. It's very, very similar. It's a little bit higher level, a little bit more focused purely on dex, but it is more or less the same. I have the same weapon, the Great Sight, that I was using a lot, and I have some pretty cool armor here that I'm using. I really like this look with the Grim Reaper helmet and the robe of Velka. I think it looks amazing. But anyway, this area here in white is incredible. I mean, this looks so weird. What is going on here? We know that the Black Knights, or the Silver Knights of Gwyn, that became the Black Knights when they fought the demons and were burned alive, were largely killed. And is this some sort of like ghostly representation of them? Like they're going off to the afterlife and you can see their ghosts wandering around? This area is truly, truly amazing. I mean, look at this. It's like the Colosseum in the background and the black and yellow sky. It just looks absolutely incredible. I love it. And just listen to the background there for a second. That's sort of a neat sound that they have there. It's so weird, that noise going off out in the distance. I don't know what it is. But the ground, you can see, is completely made up of ash. I guess because when Lord Gwyn burned himself in the flame, in order to preserve the Age of Fire, his soul, even though he'd already chipped pieces off to it and given it to other people, like the Four Kings and Seath, was so amazing that it just created this titanic wave of ash when it was gone. You know, truly, I have a feeling Miyazaki would subscribe to the great man theory of history. But anyway, this area, the lead up to the final boss fight, has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Black Knight enemies in it, and they have a guaranteed drop of Titanite each. There's Black Titanite, there's regular Titanite from 2 of them, red Titanite from 1, white Titanite from another, and blue Titanite from another. And we have all the different kinds of Black Knight here. There's 2 regular Black Knights, there's 1 with the Ultra Great Sword, there's 1 with the Great Axe, and there's 1 with the Black Knight Halberd. And if you have not obtained any of those items yet and you would like to use them for your next playthrough, you can farm them right here. And this is a great place to go to because, as we all know, when you're going into New Game Plus, you tend to want to maybe get a new kind of weapon to use. And I would really love to, and this is just, this gameplay design is so amazing that you can farm out very quickly all of the resources you might need to upgrade things to, you know, for the next playthrough. And remember to do that because you want a plus, 14, 15, whatever weapon when you go into the next playthrough, right when you start, and you lose the embers that you get here, so you have to go through the rigmarole of getting the embers, which is kind of a complicated procedure and can add a lot of time. Now, what Kaathe was saying before was really fascinating because he seems to like the Age of Dark. France seems to be scared of it and doesn't want the Age of Dark. He doesn't like the idea that there is some sort of Age of Dark that is coming to replace what currently is. However, it's very muddy exactly what any of them really do want because, and kind of based on the ending that you get, you don't really win in any way. You can't really win the game exactly because both endings that you can get, the one we're going to get at the end of this and the other one, the dark ending, are both pretty strange and obscure and you're not quite certain what's going on. And it kind of sucks for you in a way. The ending that we're going to be getting is the normal, regular ending. I'm not going to get the special one. Because you have to go through the game another time to get the other one. Get a backstab here. Well, he just kind of stands there. I don't know what happened. He went hollow for a second there, just didn't care. But anyway, this ending is really, really well done. I really like how they've made it ambiguous at the end whether you've really achieved anything. If you make a right here, by the way, you can find the Black Knight armor. I really wish that you could have farmed this, like made it a rare drop from the Black Knights. I already picked it up previously, but you can get it right here. Because it looks pretty cool, and I would like to get it, and I like it better than the Silver Knight armor. I think it looks cooler, but, well, what are you going to do? You have to wait until the end of the game to get it, which kind of sucks. Now, over here we have Solaire's summon sign. We're going to be bringing him in. And this fight isn't especially challenging. It's a lot like the fights in Demon Souls and Dark Souls 2. The end fights against the final guy were really pretty simple, and they were meant to be poignant, not to be tough. The game really does, if I would have a criticism of the game, and I have a few, it really loses something, I think, especially in repeated playthroughs, after you beat Ornstein and Smough. It may not seem apparent your first time through, but in later attempts of playing the game, it really ceases to be balanced after that point. It just becomes too easy. The areas where you go to hunt the 4 Lord Souls are simply too... they're too easy to do if you have an upgraded weapon, frankly. They provide a lot of worry and trouble if you're not quite sure where to go or what to do. But if you know what to do, it's pretty straightforward, and it loses something. It needs to be made a little bit more challenging, which in some ways the DLC takes care of, but... Anyway, I'm going to go get Solaire. This fight is not terribly difficult. Lord Gwyn is a humanoid figure. He has a flaming sword, and he can jump and move very quickly around the arena that you're in. And he has a grab attack, which can be pretty dangerous. But uniquely among all the bosses in the game, you can actually parry and riposte Lord Gwyn. So if you've mastered parrying, they really are rewarding you tremendously if you've mastered that, because it makes the fight a joke. parrying him is not terribly difficult. You just have to watch his moves a couple of times, and you can figure out his pattern. I also really like how in this final stage they've made it, if you notice the souls that I've gotten just from this playing in this area, you can level up really fast in this section. So if you're having trouble with the final boss fight, you probably shouldn't. You can really level up tremendously quickly and just make the game kind of a cakewalk at the end if you're having any trouble. It's nice that they provided that for you. And I'm just going to shut up in a second and let the music play for a moment, because it's really, really good. It's so sad, this grim piano music. Now, we don't really need Solaire here, but I brought him in. I just like... Oh my god, he just flipped... Do you see him? Like, he flipped him over his head there. Jeez. You can actually get Lord Gwyn's gear in New Game Plus, and it actually looks pretty cool, but there's no poise to it, so that kind of stinks. I'm just sort of overwhelmed by this fight. It's really an emotional conflict here. And look, that's the grab attack that he's doing. We can't really hurt him doing this. And I'm going to quit out in a second because I really wanted Solaire to survive. And unfortunately, I beat the boss right when Solaire was killed. And I wanted him to live. I just wanted to see that at the very end. It seems a little strange that I might want that, but I really want to watch the end of the fight with Solaire victorious. So I'm just going to quickly quit and reload everything. This really is just the best, one of the best games I've ever played. I think it's the best game easily made in the last 15 years. It really reminds me of the games of my youth, and it is, I just wanted to parry him once here, it could be pretty devastating. It is an absolutely magnificent game. It has the right level of challenge, the right level of freedom of movement, the right level of complexity of the action. It doesn't sugarcoat anything. It doesn't make anything super easy. It doesn't, hold your hand through everything. It doesn't make you go through tedious tutorial sections. You have to learn the game on your own, and you learn it because it's so good. And down goes Lord Gwyn. You can see it's childishly easily, especially if you have something like... Well, Solaire's still going at him. That's kind of weird. Something a little Oedipal here about him killing him. What might be his own father. And, I just love everything about it. I think it's the third greatest video game I've ever played, next to only the original Legend of Zelda and Final Fantasy VII.